the view. Right, so hello everybody, this is Backblast. Here I am again on Planet Zoo. An unusual video today in that it's a kind of carry on from something I did on YouTube. It's my creation of Chester Zoo within Planet Zoo. For those of you not from England, Chester Zoo is well, actually, Chester Zoo is probably one of the best zoos in the world. It's certainly, in my opinion, the best in the UK, and fortunately, it's quite close to my home. It's about an hour away. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you around what we've built so far, and I need to just let you know a few things about it, especially these two buildings here. Because these two buildings weren't made by me. Neither was this guest building, and neither were these toilets or the warthog building. Although, you know, I've done a little bit of work and added tiny bits on. I haven't done much to it. I've changed a few bits, but not much. These are the work of some people called This Gameware. I don't know if it's a group of people or a person. Possibly called Ashley, I'm not 100% sure, but they've created these fantastic buildings, which is a superb recreation of the Chester Zoo entrance building. It's really a nice looking thing. I've done the insides myself, which I haven't done much with. I just sort of put a couple of shops in and did a bit of a floor in there. I think everything else is mine. I think it is, yeah. I'm pretty sure everything else is mine. So I'm going to show you around the rest of the zoo to start off with. So we've got this starting area. We're going to have the game running while I'm showing you around, so there might be the odd thing pop up. You know, things like the tickets are underpriced, and we're already at £32. Although we're on Sandbox, so it doesn't matter. Right, so Chester Zoo, when you come in fact, if you ever are close to Chester Zoo and you've never been before, you can come into this bit for free. So this bit here, toilets, shop, and the elephants, you can come in free. It's only when you go through this barrier here that you enter the zoo properly. So in theory, yeah, you can wander in these gates, and you can wander around here. You can come and see the elephants. And then you go into the elephant house, which is over here. Up this path. Oh, yeah, dodgy camera. Sorry about that. Dodgy camera. Come in. And then down into the elephant house, which looks better than this in real life. I could do with tarting the inside up a little bit more. But yes, you can come in and see the elephants down here. And then wander out. And there are a few small exhibits here. So there's some birds in an enclosure here. And there's some other things down here. But again, the game has some limitations. There aren't birds in the game, and there aren't. We're short of penguins as well, to be honest. Hey, go on, hit that ball, get that done. So there's the elephants. So you can do that. Come into Chester Zoo, go and look around the elephants for free, and then go outside to these windows, buy your ticket, and then go in and get it scanned. Because honestly, why would you come and see such a superb zoo and just come and look at the elephants for free when you can go in and it's a superb day for the family, in my opinion. Right, so around here we have the warthogs, which is pretty good. As I said, the building isn't mine, somebody else made that. In the background you can see some of the rhinos. I'll go and show you that in a while. These are the warthogs. Everything's looking good. The reason I'm showing you around the zoo is I've done quite a bit of work since the last time I posted a video, and I just wanted to show you where we were up to with that. This building is a placeholder for the Bemba cafe eatery place. It's called the Bembe Kitchen. So it needs some work. I need to change the roof and I changed the building. It was a temporary fix. We have most of the other things in here. We have the walkway that goes up past the reed beds on the right, and then up through the trees. All the while you can stop and look at the elephants if you so wish. We're next to the elephant enclosure here, and then you can wander up here. See the elephants. See the elephants. You can stand over here. Why aren't they coming over there? There should be a walkway going over there. I'll have a look at that. That'll be something to fix. But they should be able to walk over this bit. And then there's a barrier here, and you can stand and watch the elephants from here. which is a superb viewpoint. Superb. Beautiful. Lovely. Anyway, if we carry on, you can see through the haze, for some reason it's quite hazy, that there are quite a few buildings up there. We're going to be exploring these. On the right here we have, this is in the zoo. In reality it's got some deer and a rhino in it. On the game we can't put a rhino in with deer, even though in real life you can. So this has just got deer in it at the moment. Needs some fencing and things down this walkway. In real life, again, here there's a massive aviary which they don't have in the game yet, and in fact I haven't developed a lot of this yet. This is a butterfly house in real life. Oh, that's great. That's going to help, isn't it? But again, no butterflies in game, so what you gonna do? And then what do? We wander over the bridge. Now this, from this point on, we've actually done quite a lot of work on the bridges and the enclosures, so I'm happier with this part of the zoo. This is pretty good up here. I'm going to get loads of animals on low welfare because it's cold. Not developed that. We have got the islands in danger. I'll show you that because it's indoors and there's no snow. In real life, this is where there are Komodo dragons. So there's an enclosure here. There's a room through here which has, this is all aviaries. So there's some lovely parrots and different birds in there. And again, across the boat there's another aviary there. And in here we have the other Komodo dragon enclosure, which then leads to an outdoor enclosure which is in the snow at the moment, which is a bit pants. So if we just spend a bit of time up this end, we have the picnic parlor, which is Fountains Cafe or Fountains Restaurant. In reality you can go upstairs in this. In the game I haven't quite managed that. I've got 3 shops in there, or 2 shops and a toilets, and that's all done there, and it's done to a fairly high standard. I've spent a bit of time on that. I haven't developed the back of the building yet, but that's pretty good. That's a good representation in my opinion. Over here is what I'm actually working on off screen. So these are the stables. That looks a bit lopsided, doesn't it? I'll have a look at that. Yeah, the stables are a feature that's been there since the zoo very first opened, and I'm currently working on that. I realised that it's not accurate roof-wise or indeed building-wise. I just wanted to get the footprint right and get it in the right spot. So I've measured this to the other buildings, and I'm happy that that's in the right spot. And I'm just working on the front now, so I spent a little bit of time doing the windows down here, and I'm going to be working on the tower off screen. That'll be what I'm working on next, which goes up here, and then I'll be straightening that out. Why is that so dodgy like that? That's a bit strange, isn't it? What have I done there? Not quite sure. I think it's because it comes down here. Yeah, that'll be what it is. Anyway, that's that. That's the stables. We're not going to be seeing much more of that today. What else are we going to be looking at today? So we came across the bridge down to the islands in danger, and then down here we have some toilets and a signpost, and then this takes us around to, we have some buffalo, although as in real zoos I can't actually see any buffalo. Let's go inside and have a look. Ah, they're all having a little snooze away from the snow. There we are, that. That's good, isn't it? There we are. Buffaloes in there. And on this side, tapirs. Tapirs. So if I wander around the tapir exhibit, down there. That's the tapir exhibit. Like that, at Chester. And we can wander down here. The back of the exhibit, all pretty well done, pretty accurate really. It's one of the few areas I could actually get a good picture of. The solar panel isn't accurate, but this is the back of the buffalo enclosure there, which looks out over the river down there. This is the giraffe building and facility. So as you can see, the building's been done, and the side building, and I've done quite a bit around the back of that. I'll show you that in a minute. I'm loath to put much more in here. I could develop it as it is now. I am aware that this is changing in real life. They're moving the giraffe area to over where the painted dogs are, and I'll be showing you the painted dogs area in a while, because that's what I want to be working on today. So let's go back and have a look. So this is an okapi area, these two enclosures. It's actually, in the game I've made it into one. In reality it's two that can be opened up. So as you can see, we do have an okapi wandering about in there. There are two in there, but they are quite timid creatures, and it is quite difficult to get a good view of them anywhere within the zoo. It is they do have these glass panels that you can come and look and get an idea of where they are and what sort of a place they live in. We wander inside, we wander down here. Okapi, there's a room in here which is again needs some work, but I don't have any photos of the inside of this building, so I'm struggling a little bit to recreate this, but I'll get some. Whether I go to the zoo myself and take them, or whether I find some online, I don't know. But there we are. There's the two okapi in there, having a lovely time in their enclosure. It's been done all right. I've done all right. Right. Okay. So outside, as I mentioned, I've done some work around the back of the okapi. This is not a public area. So what I've done is I've taken the opportunity, because I know there's buildings here that the public don't go in. I've taken the opportunity to make them into staff buildings. So we do have a water filter area and a generator around here. We've also got I think that's a workshop down there, and in this building, which I think is an education centre or something, we've got a staff room in there and a keeper's hut, which I haven't really decorated apart from rudimentary bits, but we do have a food area and a little eating area, and the bridge is pretty much done. It's a little bit narrow here, it should be a bit wider, but for now I'm going to leave that. It's all right, it's pretty good. I like the clapperboards. I've done all right with that. We've got the tropical house built here, although there's nothing inside it. So this is for tuatara in real life. They're New Zealand lizard down there, and you can see the inside is it's ready to accept some theming and some animals, and we'll have a look at that at some point. I don't know whether that's going to be on or off camera, but that needs looking at. There's a tuatara bit there. There is a staff walkway that runs along the back, and there is actually room to put that in. This panel can come out, and there is a walkway there. There's a building outside that covers it, so as it is in real life. That used to be a walkway that ran down the there used to be all various snakes, reptiles, spiders down here, and you used to go along that passage to see them from the other side, but it's now bricked off. It's not open to the public anymore. So what else? If we go back out past the okapi, in real life over here we have the red river hog area. Again, in game there aren't any red river hogs, but you know, we can see the area that we've got for them. There's a little bit you can wander into. I haven't built the barriers for the enclosure, but there's a window here that you can see the sleeping quarters, and they can wander in and out through doors on the left into the actual enclosure. And then if you wander back out of here, down here, oh no, I've missed something. There's a gate here, which not open to the public, but open to staff. And in game, it's open to the staff. It doesn't actually open, but they can walk through there. There is a walkway goes through there into here, so the staff can get to the back of the red river hogs, and also into the chimpanzee house, which is what's on the right. We do have some chimps in there, so let's go and have a look at that. This is our chimpanzee house. Fairly good representation of the chimpanzee house at Chester. We have a chimp in there having a wander around. Don't know what the chimp's up to. Possibly about to wander out into the chimpanzee area. I can't actually see many chimps. There's one there. There's another one there. And there are a few in there. There's quite a few. So if I pan out a little bit more, we can get a good idea of that area we've just looked round. So we've got this area which was the buffalo around the back, the tapirs, okapi over here. That should be giraffe, but I'm not sure whether I'm putting them in. That's the tropical house, and then this area is the chimpanzees. That was the Red River hogs, and fairly good. I haven't developed the back of that yet. There's a lot of work needs doing inside, and then we'll look at the back, and then the area between that and this, which is the jaguar house. The water comes up and fills a lot of this area here. The path comes up and round. There are a few smaller exhibits here. Sand lizards, I believe, and some birds and a few other things. And then we come to the Jaguar House, which is it's an incredible building. It's quite an iconic looking thing. When it originally opened, there were 2 enclosures for Jaguar. So this one here, which is more of a forested area, and inside was forested, and this was more of a barren rock deserty type biome, I guess, and inside was the same as well. So let's just go and have a quick look at what we've got here. Obviously I haven't finished this. There are no Jaguar in the standard game. They've just released a DLC. This is an aquarium in real life. There's a big tank here full of water, and above this some sloth live. There's 2 sloth live in here, live above this tank, and they can get in and out through some holes in the wall to the outside where they've got an outdoor area. This is the inside area for one of the enclosures, which again I said I haven't quite finished yet. And then over this side is the inside bit of the other side, and there are some ants in real life. And then we can wander out here. Out we go. Through some walls. Oh, there you go. So that's the jaguars, which again, I've built the building, plonked it down, not done the inside, not put any animals in. At some point I will get the DLC for that, and I'll put the jaguars in, or certainly I put jaguars in there. I think the last time I went to the zoo, which was only a couple of months ago before we all got quarantined, there was some sort of dog in there, wild dog or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. And there we go. So I think that's it for this side of the park. I think I've shown you pretty much what I've done. I've extended the waterway down. I've started roughly where I want the path. And I just want to show you something briefly. There's 2 things actually, now I mention it. I've got these, the lion enclosure as well. If you've been to Chester, know anything about the Chester Zoo recent builds, then they have a new lion enclosure, which the buildings look like that. You can see roughly where the fence line is for the enclosure, and there is a tower on the side, but that's built and ready to put in. I just don't know where to put it, because if you've ever been to Chester Zoo recently, it's actually here, which is outside my park. I started building this, went to Chester Zoo, and realised they built outside the area, which I just think is bad sportsmanship, to be honest. Yeah, I just want to show you these because this is something that I've been using quite a bit. These are my measurement guides. Now I want to show you why or how I use those. So what happens is, while I'm building things, I tend to use things like Google Maps, Bing Maps, photographs from the internet, photographs that I've taken from the zoo. But one of the things that's useful in Google Maps is the ability to right-click onto the map somewhere. So I can right-click on a building and then put measure distance, and then if I left-click somewhere, boom, it tells me how long that distance is. So it'll tell me that that's 87.9 meters long. It actually says it there as well. So I can measure how far the buildings go, or how big the buildings are. So how big is this building in real life? Well, it's saying it's 16 meters long, so I can build it 16 meters in the game. So all the buildings that I've built are to scale and approximately in the right spot in the park. You know, I'll be out by a few feet. And as I progress down the part, that will get a little bit worse as I go down because I'm measuring from the same point. So yeah, so I used that and I used the measurements. But in game, if I know that a building is like 160 feet from, say, the corner of this, or in fact from here where the bridge crosses the road, then how do I measure like 210 feet or 300 feet? What I do is I use these. So what I've got is a barrier down here. There's the barrier. So you can see the barrier is just a null barrier, and these are 20 meter sections. Okay, each of those is 20 meters, and I can change the length of it to however I want. So if I know that that's 20, I can then build a wall alongside it. So I built a wall. Each one of the wall sections is 4 meters long. So if I look at, let's go for this 4 meter brick wall, I can then add them on. So if I do that, and I wanted something that was 250 instead of the 230 that I've got, I can add on the requisite amount of wall so I know where I'm going. Each of these walls running off the side is 10 meters. And then where I've got 2 like that, that's 100. So I know that from the start point to there is 100 meters, 200 meters, 210, 220, 230, and whatever I'm going to. If I'm going to 235, I will have a wall here that's 5 meters. If I'm going to 232, I'll have a 2 meter wall there. And that's what I do. And then what I do is I will then, just bear with me. I will then make a copy of that, and I will then move it to wherever we're going. So if I want to measure something, I have a point, and as I mentioned, the crossover point there, if you actually go and have a quick look, there's a pole and a flag there. That's where I'm measuring from. That's one of my points. So I can then put this in and line it up and say, right, how far is that? Let's just make sure it's right so I can line it up properly. So line it up with the pole and move it away a tiny amount so it's about right. So it's within, that's within a meter, easily within a meter. And I know then that that will be whatever it is, whatever I've made the wall length. So 210, 20, 30, 230 something meters to there. So that is how I'm measuring things. So that's what these are. I'm using these as measuring tools, and you may well see those lying about on my map somewhere and wonder what they are. They're not part of my design. They're things that I've used to measure. Similarly, there might be other things lying around that approximate where a building is. So this is going to be the is this the camel house? In reality, there's some camel and some I want to say donkeys of some sort. I'm not 100% sure, but there's certainly something in there with the camels. Przewalski's horse, maybe? I'm not sure. There's a rough approximation of something else there. That's the enclosure wall. And you can see a faint area that I've made, which is the approximation of where the path's going to go. So it goes roughly to here. And you can see there's a path goes over and goes over there. You may well see other flags and things that I use for measuring distances or marking where things are in the zoo so that I get things accurately. So if I come back across here, so we came up here initially, this is where the elephant were. We come back down this way, back into the zoo down here. Just try and turn the camera around without running through a few trees. There's some shops here, as there are in real life, and we walk down here, which on the left we have those deer, and as I said, in reality there are rhino in there as well. And on the right is the monkey house. So let's go and have a quick look through the monkey house. There we go. Monkeys are in here. Again, in reality, there's a food preparation area here. So in game, this should be a keeper's house. I would have thought you'd have made that a keeper's house, where you can see through the windows and see what they're doing. But in game, it doesn't like that. it gives it a negative effect, which I don't like. I am quite proud of my monkey house. I think I've done a great job of this, especially as the cameras in this game. Oh, please, cameras, please. Right. Especially as there's a walkway runs along the back of the enclosures in real life, and there is in game. You may notice that that's empty. Spider monkeys are empty. Yep, spider monkeys, I think. Yeah. Because we haven't got spider monkeys, and we haven't got whatever's in there, and we haven't got whatever's in the last one, but we do have mandrills. So as you can see in here, we do have mandrills. They're wandering about inside. They're able to get up, and they're able to get out to the outside, which is brilliant. And there's still a walkway at the back. You can see the staff wandering about there, about to come into the door. There they are, and they're using the walkway at the back of the exhibit. They can use the walkway all the way along. It goes all the way to here and out to the final island, which is out there. But that's the monkey's house. I'm quite pleased with that. It was good trying to get that walkway working. That was pretty good. I think we've only got one more building to show you, which is the bats. So we've built the pathway that runs down the avenue there. Past the house where the deer and the rhino are. So in here, if I can get the camera low enough, beautiful. This is the bat house. It does have a small exhibit in there, and this is where, again, in real life, there are bats in here flying around. There are no bats in the game, so I can't really do anything with that, but it's dark in there usually. You wander around, it smells of bat wee, which is great. It's a great place to go and have a look at bats. Good, quite pleased with that building. What else have we built? Right, if I go back to the start of the zoo, back to this house, which I'm not, the thing that I'm not happy with, we can wander down here. Again, this area in real life is used for the monorail, and unfortunately the monorail has been demolished at Chester Zoo. Last time I went, which was about 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, they were in the process of taking it down, and parts of it were missing. Unfortunately, that's been lost to time. But we can wander down here. All these people staring at the hedges. In reality, you can't actually see the rhinos from there. You need to come down to the rhino house, which is here. And we do have some rhino enclosures. So there's one here, one here, one there, one there. These two share this building. So you'll see that the rhino can actually go under the walkway there, which is as in real life. Although I think that has gates on it, and they don't have them open all the time. But the rhino can certainly get through there and get into the house, which we'll go and show you that. It's quite a nice little building. I'm quite pleased with. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. It's come out quite nicely. The roof's quite nice. I like the windows shining through, concrete floor, and a couple of different enclosures for a rhino there. Beautiful. Which brings me to this, which is the painted dogs area. So you can see the extent of where it's going to be. There's a little bit of barrier been put in there. This is a staff building, or will be. Down here are aardvarks, so there's a potential aardvark thing there, and over here we have what I was building in the last video, which is our bridge. Obviously it doesn't go over anything at the moment because yeah, it's not been dug out yet. The building, there's no pathway inside yet, but the building's pretty much as it is in real life. With the walkway in and out, we just need to carry on with this. So that's what I'm going to be looking at today. We're not honestly going to have that much time. I wanted to show you the whole zoo because I realised there's a lot of the zoo that you haven't seen. All of this bit up there is been done off camera, and what I was working on last time was this. And again, telegraph poles to show measurement areas where I'm building up to, or you know, where the edge of the area is, or where the walkway is, where the road is, and there we go. So we're going to be doing that.